The Titans, they're here. And I'm running away. So yeah. So this is going to be a bit short because I think some of it is a spoilery thing. So I'm going to do it. So I'm glad I had to record this. I had to. Sound was like TikTok being like, sound. Oh thanks, but sound. Anyway. This is really fun and I really like it. Definitely a lot of the fights. I'll talk about that because besides certain people and certain reviews, certain of the fights are really good. And definitely when you get into the fights with the female Titan, definitely with the Woods, all of the strategies adding more to the mystery of who these people are, definitely who the Titan is and who she is interesting. And when you learn about certain other things like what's going on, who are these people, how is this happening, it's really interesting and really exciting. But let's get into that. So this is essentially the first twist of this thing. The first twist is that in the beginning, Eren dies, seemingly. And obviously I knew that he didn't die because I kind of, even when I first watched it, I think I watched it when season 2 came out and I heard something that he did in season 2. So unless resurrection is a thing, and that's the thing that we're talking about, I think he's fine. I think he's gonna be alive. Have a hunch. But when they do the whole twist of like, oh, he can turn into a Titan, and definitely when he's like, oh, he's defending to do that to create the giant arm, it's insane. It's really fun, really interesting, and really insane of like, oh, how they're able to do that and what all of it means. Definitely when you get like the giant arm and all of that stuff. The other mystery is with the female Titan that appears later. You obviously have this trial, and then he goes to sort of like the team that sort of does this, which is interesting. And then you get the female Titan. The mystery of like, oh, why is she protecting her neck? Why would you do that unless you knew that was a weak spot? And if that's the case, that's more knowledge than we know. Then we get the information. Then when we slowly are piecing together who is the female Titan, of like these smart tactics, and then when we discover it's another one, but rather of like the brigade, like the scouting unit, it's the military police. What? You have all of this for the military police with a single person inside. And we don't know, and by the end of the fight, and besides revealing she was the female Titan, we don't know why they did that. Because overall, it's a thing that's like, oh, what is happening? Why is this happening? Definitely with, like, why did she do this thing? Why are they so rapid up? There seems to be more, something involved, and something big to play. Definitely with, I watched this in season 2, and someone might have had something to do with something. And that is interesting. Because there was a moment where she looked at her hand and then started running, which is interesting. But this is really interesting. Definitely when you get, obviously I thought, but you do get a bit of this. I heard there's like, oh, there's just deaths in this, and there's just a bunch of deaths. And there is a lot. When you fight the female Titan, a lot of people die. You hear a lot of like, I was like, so many people die. But I think that's one of the points of like, this is a desperate situation. So that kind of makes more sense. That's why I find this is more interesting now, because it's like, yeah, it's desperation. And that's what it is. But yeah. And yeah, Captain America Civil War. This comic book version. The pre-Jude. Which I think still is part of the MCU. It might not be, but yeah, you have this, which is really, I think it's part of the comic book verse. I don't read much of them, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and good night.